Episode 7, Dragonshy. This episode has Fluttershy taking over as the main character. Fluttershy is currently feeding all the animals that live with her before trying to get her rabbit Angel to take a few more bites of his carrot. This reminds me a lot of my sister trying to get her children to eat. During this time, they notice a big cloud of smoke coming from a nearby mountain. Fluttershy tries to warn the town, but not only has no one noticed, Fluttershy's soft voice prevents them from hearing her warnings. Even the other main characters fail to hear her warnings. Despite this, Fluttershy continues her attempts to warn the other ponies, but they don't notice until Twilight comes to warn them. Twilight reveals that according to Princess Celestia, the fire is coming from a dragon. This fact horrifies Fluttershy. Twilight gathers the other main characters and tells them that the dragon is napping in the mountain and his snoring is causing all the smoke. She then reveals that it is their mission to try and get the dragon to take a nap somewhere else. If they don't, smoke will cover Equestria for the next 100 years. Everyone leaves to prepare, and it's shown Fluttershy is still nervous about the upcoming mission. We then get an interesting montage of each character preparing. Rainbow Dash takes the typical army approach, Applejack's family helps her prepare, where it's also revealed Applejack is stronger than her brother. Before we continue, I feel I should mention that while Earth ponies can't fly or use magic, they are naturally much stronger than unicorns and Pegasi. Pinkie Pie packs way too many balloons and has a quick giggle before getting serious. Rarity decides being fashionable is more important than being practical, and Fluttershy gets ready for what appears to be a game of American football. All except Fluttershy then eagerly return to help Twilight. Twilight then explains what they need to do, but with every word spoken, Fluttershy gets more nervous. Fluttershy asks Twilight if she can stay behind, but Twilight insists that she has to come, as her way with wild animals will come in handy. Rainbow Dash also thinks it might be best to leave Fluttershy behind, as she's apparently afraid of her own shadow. Twilight thinks she'll be fine, but then Rainbow Dash's claim turns out to be true. Despite this, they head off, though Fluttershy still isn't as eager as the others. They come to the mountain, where it's also revealed that Fluttershy may be afraid of heights, which is a little ironic because she's a Pegasus and can fly. They start heading up together, but after a while they realize they've left Fluttershy behind. They encourage Fluttershy to fly up to them, which she begins to do, but upon hearing the dragon snore, her wings fail her. Knowing that Fluttershy won't head directly up with them, Applejack decides to take her on an alternative route around the mountain. After a while, Applejack finally gets Fluttershy up the mountain, so they can join the others. I'll also admit, I find it rather humorous how Applejack got her up the mountain. They continue up the mountain, but Fluttershy again delays them when she struggles to jump a gap. I know it might seem strange for a Pegasus to be afraid of heights, but I've met Aussies who don't like Vegemite, so this doesn't seem too odd to me. After an encouraging song from Pinkie, Fluttershy finally attempts the jump, at which point we comedically see she could have simply stepped over. Knowing she won't move on her own, the others are able to get her over as a team. The next issue they come across is being in an avalanche zone. Silence is the most important thing here, so you'd think Fluttershy would be fine here. She's not though, as she causes an avalanche after being spooked by some leaves. Though we could probably blame Rainbow Dash for that. After a quick brush with death, they manage to get out the other side, uninjured. Unfortunately, they are now forced to climb over the rubble caused by the avalanche, where Fluttershy again has an accident that causes problems for the others. After this, they finally reach the cave where the dragon is sleeping. Twilight assigns everyone a different task, with Fluttershy's being going in with her to convince the dragon to leave. Unfortunately, Fluttershy's fear has finally got the best of her, and she refuses to go in, even with the combined encouragement of the others. It's at this point Fluttershy finally reveals why she can't go in the cave, because she's afraid of dragons. She is literally fine with all types of creatures, except dragons. They even mention the Manicore from the second episode, which Fluttershy was fine with, but she finds dragons way too scary. And I know what you're thinking, she's fine with and loves Spike, but that's because he's a baby dragon, and considering how big this guy is compared to Spike, I'm sure you can see why she'd be more afraid of a fully grown dragon. She also didn't tell them this earlier because she was afraid to. Despite encouragement from the others, Fluttershy is still too scared to help and leaves. Because of this, Twilight goes in to face the dragon alone. Twilight attempts to reason with the dragon. At first he seems willing to leave, but then he just falls back asleep and blows smoke in Twilight's face. Rarity goes in next, thinking she can use her pony charm to get the dragon to leave. Rarity nearly convinces him to leave by flattering him, but after clearly trying to take some of his jewels, the dragon understandably forces her to leave as well. Rarity isn't even very good at hiding that she was more concerned about the jewels than the dragon. Pinkie is the next with a bright idea, thinking they'll get the dragon on their side if they make him laugh. This has a disastrous, yet humorous result. Rainbow Dash is the next pony that tries to make the dragon leave, and I'm sure I don't need to explain why. Her idea was the worst. Unsurprisingly, this angers the dragon, who easily defeats the 5 of them, at which point it's revealed Fluttershy never actually left. Seeing her friends hurt by the dragon, Fluttershy manages to overcome her fears and jumps into action. Fluttershy puts the dragon in his place by giving him a powerful scolding, then gives him a powerful stare, which is something she does multiple times throughout the show when they need to tame rowdy animals. The dragon tries to defend himself by pointing out Rainbow Dash kicked him, and while Fluttershy is apologetic, she also points out that the dragon is bigger and should know better. Fluttershy gets the dragon to apologize, and he agrees to go find a different place to sleep. The smoke is also able to be cleared by the other Pegasi. The lesson Twilight took away from this episode includes the following. Never give up on your friends, as they are a great source of strength and they can help you overcome your greatest fears. Something Fluttershy accomplished with flying colours in this episode. The episode ends with Rainbow Dash trying to break a record, something she was doing at the start of the episode when Pinkie decides to act like a dragon and frighten her. Fluttershy comforts her by pointing out that not every pony can be as brave as her, but then she's promptly frightened by another leaf, causing much amusement for everyone involved. For me, I guess the biggest lesson to be learned from this episode is that it's okay to have fears, but when someone you care about is in trouble, you might just be able to find the courage to overcome them. Until next time, thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next review.